So it's Wednesday morning. It's give or take 10:55 a.m. Just got back from getting bagels and yogurts. Bagels in Ben Yehuda, the muffin shop. 7 check a bagel, not terrible. And we got yogurts at Zoltov. I was thinking about getting some French salami, but it was 36 shek for. I mean, it's not that overpriced. It's just, I woke up around like 7 this morning, had a coffee, bunch of cigarettes, used the bathroom, and then I was just so freaking depressed. Just went back to bed. And then when I woke up again around like 9, another coffee, some more cigarettes, used the bathroom again, and fielding some WhatsApps and trying to figure out what I should do, because Chabad's closed today, both in Mea Shearim and in the old city, and I don't know about Takamoni. Hopefully breakfast will do me, for now. I just did Til Sedayim. I guess I'll get started on morning brachos and then some of my breakfast. And feeling, I don't know if I'm going to do much of a shacharis. Really not much in the mood. Really not much in the mood for anything right now. Kind of wish I could sleep for the next, 40 odd hours. I got no respective dates. And just really depressed. No citizenship, no health care, no wife. I live in a bomb shelter, which, thankfully it's a relatively nice bomb shelter, but still. Just really frustrated. There's other people who have it worse than me, but still. Each person figures out their own problems and what solutions might be available. My parents wanted me to help them build a sukkah, so I'm like, I'm never going to have my own home and a wife, so why would I want to learn how to build a sukkah? And Michael wanted me to help him in the kitchen today, peeling and slicing vegetables. I'm never going to have a kitchen job as far as I know. I'm starting to get a little hungry. So some morning brachos, quick to fill in, and some breakfast. Did 2 yogurts and 3 cinnamon raisin bagels. Alrighty. As I was taking the depressant last night, and before I'm thinking, it's not much different than a sugar pill, because it's not solving the physical problems in my life. Nothing seems to be solving its physical problems. Having citizenship, having health care, having a wife, having an apartment, having a career. I almost want to break down and cry. It's just, it seems so emasculating. I send off an email to Lauren telling I'm here. Tell her I'm here. If she wants to come out. She lives around the corner. She lives closer here than I do. some bagels and yogurts, and she wanted to get a few other things. We'll have to see her. I don't know why I like her, I just do. And we don't agree on a lot of things, but I really like her. I'm definitely not doing a full showers, but I guess a partial one would be out of it. I'm feeling really faint. And this is how I expect to feel tomorrow. I don't do so well on fast days. I don't really have any reserves in my body. Pretty sure what I ate yesterday has already gone through me. Just going on coffee and cigarettes. It's like my cousin's father used to say that he was going on fumes. I'm like, well, I'm not much different. In fact, he's heavier than me. Even though he's shorter, he's heavier than me. His body retains some of what he eats. Now that he's quit smoking altogether, both tobacco and marijuana, I bet you a lot of it's sticking. I mean, I quit marijuana a few years ago, but cigarettes, it's like, I don't know how. I don't think he was ever addicted to cigarettes. He would just use tobacco to make joints. Yeah, the harder and the abuse is one way or What's really surprising is that halacha says that he who eats on the day before Yom Kippur is as if he fasted 2 days. I mean, on a certain biological, physiological level, it makes sense. If you eat the day before, it makes fasting the next day even harder. I mean, if you eat heavy. Versus if you eat light and, hydrating foods, like fruits and grapes, and probably makes fasting the next day easier. But there's a concept of having like a full-on meal. Let's say the fast starts at 6 p.m. Have a full-on meal at 5 p.m. Meats and breads, salads and stuff, and you feel good for a couple hours, but then 2 hours later, it's you're not allowed to eat. Get a little peckish, and then by the time the morning comes around, it's like, oh crap, can't have breakfast, and then in the afternoon, it's like you're starting to feel faint. And I guess it's a good thing I don't typically eat that much, because tomorrow, coffee and cigarettes, and then go to synagogue, and if I sleep, and whatever. I don't know. In Tisha B'Av, I basically spent in bed. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. I have no idea. They have this pill over at the Gula pharmacy, which is supposed to make fasting easier. I don't know if it's supposed to be anti-nicotine or anti-caffeine or some other thing, but I keep thinking about getting it, but I never do. It's like these quick fixes, I don't actually believe in them. I'm amazed I'm taking antidepressants on it regularly, because I don't really believe in this stuff. What do I believe in? I believe in having a career. And I believe in having a wife. middle, even have an apartment. And you know, you work 5-6 days a week, and you bring in an income, and you pay your mortgage, and you know, you have a wife, and you try as best as you can to follow, you know, Jewish law, and meaning not to be with her, which is around her period, and some semblance of love. You know, my foster parents, they would do like a date night once a week. You know, my dad used to buy my mom flowers every Friday. Not necessarily the nicest flowers, but still. And the whole concept of a family meals Friday night and Shabbat day, it's, you know, it's nice, brings the family together. But even so, my biological family and my foster family broke up after 18 years. It doesn't seem to be a hard and fast rule for how families could stay together. And I'm amazed when I hear people stay together. Like both sets of my grandparents stayed together for decades. It's like, how do they do it? You know, my mom's parents were together, you know, say 40, 45 years. From like immediately after the Holocaust till they died. And my dad's parents were together presumably since they were like late teenagers till their early 90s. I don't know, I'm a different generation, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, but I might still want to do a quick shockers and then, I don't know, some breakfast, I guess. There seems to be so many different versions of Judaism floating around. You got Talmudic Judaism, you got Karaite Judaism, you've got people who just believe in the Tanakh, even with, you know, interpretation, but still, it's like very confusing. I grew up with Talmudic Judaism, moved away to basically atheism. Well, not atheism, because, you know, I don't believe in murder. That'd be like nihilism, I guess, but I don't know what the difference between atheism and nihilism is. I'm kind of across the spectrum. I don't even know what I believe most of the time. Constantly trying to study and figure it out, and then it's like, well, I can't manage that, I can't manage that, I can't manage that, I can't manage that. It's like, what does God actually expect of me? I'm so freaking lost. And then I try to turn to, you know, people, scholars, you know, Kabbalists, and it just gets so confusing. And then you can't even believe them. It's like, about a month ago I went to a Kabbalist and got a blessing. Oh, now I'm going to have a shut-up. Now I'm going to have a match. And the dates are basically, like, not the dates, the meeting women is basically dried up. So, I don't know. I'm sure it would be nice to be a part of some group and really believe everything you believe, but I don't know. Maybe I believe in internet Judaism. I get my own religion, internet Judaism. Not quite, but still. Just a little bit of pretty fast humor. I don't really have any jokes. No, there is one joke. By the way, Jacobson was saying that, you know, you got 3 rabbis discussing who's got the better synagogue. So one rabbi says, you know, when it comes to Yom Kippur, my synagogue, We got an intermission, we get sandwiches and beverages, no problem. Another rabbi says, in case my congregants get bored, everybody's got an iPad under the seat. They can browse the internet, they can, watch a movie, they can read a book, whatever. Third rabbi says, that's nothing. My synagogue, we hang up a sign, closed for the holidays. They have like no strength left in me. There's more strength in this body. There's talking about like this and smoke the water. I have to penny. I know there's some shit anymore. Some of the ones that don't get here. But I'm kind of doing better than that. Anyway, shall we know? Something that is started in the hall. Oh, girls, come on. I'll double your shall we? I'm talking about Taras. Man, I'm going to slowly, but it's smoke a little take off. Amazing when I dig deep, I can actually find some strength. But the problem is there's only so much of that. Those are reserves. It's not going to last very long. I wish Bob might sit this. Or might sit this in a couple of weeks probably. Just sitting there in my bag. That's about Shamar or Schmott kind of pace. Even have a tallest in my bag, but I stopped wearing it at the beginning of last summer. It got too hot, and I was like, well, I'm not married anyway, so what's the difference? Organizamos pedido a Hodus, all of us grabs Persian food, which we breakfast into don't have an evolution of ways up from other way, but who is up with kind of more it's because Persians, some of them are about 100 to probably not too much more. Heel graag om normaal van via mijn job voor zo'n gezien en zo daarom. Wel gaan we alleen zoals we wel de hele paar van de stuurs van wat in een hier gaan we nog niet voor de robot van ons was. Als je je zelf niet zo aan wat te doen, dan kan je dat ook niet meer zeggen zeggen. Ik weet het zo we zitten van een pot en we gaan lekker ons blok en er rollen dat is zeer goed. Ik ben al dat zo ook al van die as dat shows. Ik ben niet kool. Last night the very close to the nog maar even laten rollen. Hallelujah. Zoals je me ook kan horen. שמע יש עוד נכון שמפעיל מחלואה באפס אנחנו חושבים שגם היו שאנחנו לא חושבים שאנחנו שיטות זה נכון שאתה מזין אבל זה נכון שאנחנו לא תשמע שאנחנו מסלמים על זה אנחנו לא חושבים מסכים דרך אנחנו זה Formas de jogo também todas as mudanças ao jogo como se diz como temos o jogo motivo não posso não dizer o jogo mais de primeiro mas ja, we zijn bij zo'n het is. Want we hebben dan zo dit, dus de hardens, we hardens kunnen zo'n is ook op bij het is zero. bro. Don't know much. All this other shit, which means also we do it, but yeah. Non si vedo via, non so se che fosse. Stato che non si decks. Ja, gewoon met Rossi get flush in the coat. Je zal pas met een deck score doen, zoals gewoon zelf in de hal komen, gewoon snel. Nou, je zelf in de naam je level 5 tegen. Gewoon snel nog een keer. Ik heb gewoon van, was dat oké. Dan zien we dus ook gewoon zomaar Kadej. Şöyle söylüyorum. Kadej olmaya Şimdi işime hoca. Lost my place. Shouldn't do two things at once. Not really able to multitask. It's screwing up the one that's more important. So in Europe, I'm going to find a machines for the whole most and this given if you're stuck a rock on the machines, the machine will bomb my milk load on the deck of rock every sheet up on the guy. Between the throw me to rather than start up and I have what's not to over there. I'm going to call this guy to show some rock and show some shopping the break. I'll show you there's a euro is that on the market goes for is like a later on you I'll take it up on you now we've got to give it a hot dog over that so we're going to find your ball fishing thing for only go shopping to the apple but this walk I'll take up boxes of some come again on the season let's see what this is fun it's like no I am Yom Shabbos was a Mikdash. Basically means it's Wednesday, day 4. Dan de was going to get this word saying, game search, my name is Sunshine, was beautiful. So, well, I'm finding the corner. I know I'm going to be going to start taking a real bit of the Pino, boring house, they want to skill. One of the models they mean, so you're going to see 1,000 years of motion on the weekend. I should get visions, just wasn't dead, it was given. She got skied, I don't know, but. What was them rings was open. She just said this weird thought that if I was actually standing in front of the king, I'd probably have my head for videoing while I'm praying to him. Of course, it depends on what kind of king, but still, I imagine the human king, if I was standing in front of him, ostensibly singing his praises, at the same time videoing, off with my head. So it's kind of amazing the King of Kings doesn't, have somebody walk in here and, destroy me. Of course, by the same token, I'm also amazed that, the King of Kings can't figure out how to get me. Well, it's not that he can't figure out, it's like, doesn't want me to have the means to purchase my own home and a wife. I don't know, maybe my sexual interests are a little bit out of taste. Jewish law does describe how sex is supposed to be conducted. I was in yesterday's Hulk a little bit. But there seem to be differing opinions, so. Yeah, I suppose if I was in front of the King of Kings, I really wouldn't want to have sex unless he tells me to. But he has told me to. Told me to procreate. But he also kind of indicated don't rape. Also seems to indicate don't seduce. And the Talmud seems to speak against set-up marriages. So you seem to be between a rock and a hard place and a black hole or limbo or... I don't have a clue. Or maybe I'm just past that stage of life, 43, it's like say goodbye to girlfriends. Maybe at some point when libido's completely dead, have a wife, a companion. Sex? Who needs it? Ja, overhoogst dat was het. Het is een lach. Je wilde net zo die dan met je ship, je neemt spel. We gaan het zo zien.
Casually missing on same it's in the line from mine or she come from so that was well kill it on the coin. I don't know, I'm not ready to say goodbye to sex just yet. I'm not saying it's all that fun. But there is something about being with a woman. Physical comfort, the release. I mean, I don't know where I heard this, but it's like the feeling of coming home. I mean, don't get me wrong, sitting at the table and having a nice meal with the family, it's also nice. But it's a different kind of nice, being one with a woman. I haven't really felt that since my first girlfriend. Kind of hoped with Lauren to be like that, but she doesn't want it. I don't know if she wants it with anybody. It's not just me. Even though she has said she likes me, but she doesn't like sex and she hates my smoking. And after her, I'm kind of like, well, I'm kind of giving up. It's like, I've tried. She's not the first woman I've pursued. She's not the first woman I fell in love with. There's only so much room in the heart. And in my life, I've fallen in love with, let's say, 4 or 5 women. 3 of them still have a serious place in my heart. Tova Adler, Seb, and now Lauren. I'm not going to say there weren't others that I seriously pursued, that I seriously liked at the time, but I don't think I fell in love with them. I just thought that, there was potential there. David and I are using your on him as Clad Corwell Mary McCall, sorry to really gosh my problem. I'm talking about my other being to come in before, so it's a job in an education to his neck on the file, lots of my luckily well. At least 3 of the women I seriously pursued that it didn't, well, at least 2 of the ones I seriously pursued. It didn't culminate in anything, barely even a date. And Dova Adler, we were teenagers. We didn't even mess around. We just saw each other in school and hung out once or twice at my place, foster farm family, and once or twice at her family's place. Never amounted to anything. But I don't think I've even touched her ever. Like, not even like her hand. It's one thing I did wonder about Sip, she left her husband and her kids. She didn't abandon them, but left her husband and, he was taken care of and her kids were taken care of. And she didn't blow up like a blimp. I'd probably want her back. But I'd still be a little worrisome, like what kind of mother abandons her kids. Same with Dova Adler. Maybe when all her kids get married off, and I don't know, they never even dated. I never even thought about asking her out. I just thought she was really pretty. Clamar the prize, but I'm going to get out to the minute that was easy, so she knew what the LG was going to be me. Of course, her younger sister I thought was hot. I never thought Tova was hot, I thought she was really pretty. Her younger sister I thought was like a bombshell. It was like, wow. She wasn't Jewish and I wasn't Jewish and we could screw around. Wow. Tova was like, I was like madly in love. Still kind of. Shh, don't tell anybody, I'm human. I have really fucked up thoughts. En ik heb gewoon geen moves rood, man. Het neemt zo ik weer zeker mas man die de wanneer het kan kan dan gaan we kan dan. Want deze girls die zijn maar enkel niet heel zo de gewoon zo met zo de room nou even zo klinken geregeld dat we gewoon even naar zo'n man te horen bij hoor en dat goes on with me right. Sheila there was in going in sure I'm allemaal. Spending me to so her shows a whole like Devon time check over. It's only vocal right. You get really. Ja, wanneer ik al die wel eens albert en dan kan ik ze nog gewoon afgewerkt en dat is echt een zeker wat ons wel. Vooral die zo is ook de hebben maar dat was van meer met zijn zo als je maar sketch up. Nou, we zullen eens boos maar maar in mining over brain but also it was as in Holland we zullen eens boos maar we kom ons van ja. Nou, we zullen eens boos maar is goed kom ons eens boos maar we zullen voor ons eens boos maar wel really is also is die man is een muzzel, zoals we binnen al de zon is. Dat is niet zo, heel veel kan, nog een stel, zon. See? Okay, I'm going to take off my tefillin. I'm going to go grab a plate and a spoon. I'm going to start some of my breakfast, brunch, getting close to lunchtime. And maybe read a little bit of Tehillim. See, Tehillim are like diamonds. Yeah, except that if I had actual diamonds, I could sell them and, buy an apartment and have money for dating. Maybe invest in something, I don't know. Apparently I'm not very smart. It's very confusing. So people tell me I'm smart, I'm like, I want to explain why my life is the disaster it seems to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's relatively stable at the moment. Starting next month, my income is going to be primarily from begging again. And I imagine it's going to be hard to maintain eating and rent and cigarettes and buses just from begging. I'm going to try. I have no choice. Wait, on that, no choice. Yeah. Go back to being homeless. Hope I don't lose my temper and get thrown out of the old city or wherever by the police, because there's no tolerance for temper tantrums. It doesn't matter how religious or secular you are. If you're perceived as a threat, whether emotionally, psychologically, or physically, you are told to leave. If you're a physical threat, then they basically lock you up. And if you're only an emotional or psychological threat, so then go find somewhere else to be. And that basically applies to everywhere. Yeah. Oh, joy. Oh, Lordy, joy of God. Oh, my, okay, time to go wash to the spoon. Technically, I just used the top of my bag here. That's fine. Alright, so we got peach and passiflora, and we got regular peach. No, I'm just going to use my bag. That's it from within the... I still got to wash for the bread. Okay, back in a second. owner of the bagel shop, coffee shop. It's from Montreal. She said she did live in Toronto for a while, so cinnamon raisin bagels. I forget how that came up in top a couple weeks ago, but Sheila and I were talking about it. Today is the 9th day of the Jewish calendar. Whatever that's worth. Tomorrow's ostensibly the holiest day of the year. The Rosh Hashanah too. We're not in Machlis. Shabbos is the most holy day. Beats me. Just looking at my AliExpress shopping cart. I'm like, do I really want to spend more money? In my current situation. I'd rather wait till I was a little more stable. Also slightly tempted to make some donations. Yom Torah and Sameach. Chabad. I don't really know which organizations to do it. I mean, it's not as if I'm wealthy, it's not as if I got a career. It doesn't exactly bring in that much income. But, you know, buying clothes and watches and stuff, it's like, really any benefit to that? I should feed myself better. My mom would say I got big eyes, I would buy a lot of food. Or not buy a lot, I would put a lot of food on my plate and I always eat it. And these days it's like the opposite. People seem to be eating too little food. Maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, this is peach and passiflora. Passiflora is passion fruit. Peach and passion fruit yogurt. Tastes nice. I don't usually go for stuff that has passion fruit because the seeds don't tend to, well, I don't like the seeds. Smoothies that have passion fruit, seeds tend to stay. Oh wow, this one watch I was looking at is it's sitting at $96 Canadian. It's supposed to have previously like 140. I kind of would like it for a Shabbat watch. Almost, it just doesn't seem like a Shabbat watch style. If it was 100% waterproof, like we're in the shower, I'd get it for a weekday watch. It's a really cool design. But it's only rated to 30 meters. They say that's not for the shower. It's a replica Tag Heuer Carrera in black and yellow, black, brown, and yellow. It's really cool. Kind of want to get just the heck of it. Of course, the last contribution I got was to get a Lulav and Esrog. I want to tell the guy, but it's not going to happen. I'm not getting a Lulav and Esrog. I have to have a citizenship, my own home, career, and a wife. Tom would call me, evil, because I'm basically making conditions on what's written in the Torah. As far as I understand it, way back when, people had wives. Women had less of a say. There was less demands. You didn't have indoor plumbing. You didn't have electricity. You didn't have smartphones. You didn't have Machane Yehuda full of restaurants. You had a farm. I think there was some sort of vegetables or fruits. People had cows, sheep, and maybe one or two. People traded, Of course, the generation coming out of Egypt, they were all wealthy. They had, tons of everything. But, after that, things settled down. They settled in Israel and regular commerce began. It's a pretty boring life. Assuming you've ever watched some sort of TV show or movie about way back when, 500 years ago, let alone, 2,000 years ago. Life was pretty simple. You just had your day-to-day life grinding out for your food. These days, food is kind of like, not an afterthought. A lot of people spend time thinking about, what kind of specialty food they want. If I knew for sure the soup kitchen for breakfast was going to be open this morning, I'd have whatever they're serving. But I didn't want to make the 20-minute walk over there on the chance they weren't going to be open. To a certain extent, we live in a lap of luxury. I mean, not everybody. Some people are poor. And Minch told even in a while, when I was living there, a homeless shelter, there were people dirt freaking poor. And there were people even poorer than that, living around Central Station. Just huddled together. So to a certain extent, I'm very evil. Why am I not taking my excess towards those homeless people? Trying to build for a future. I don't know what future, but I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. I followed the example my parents and foster parents and other people set. Give a little charity. Basically, just be a part of your synagogue. Study a little bit. Find work where you can, pay your rent or your mortgage. Leave taking care of the homeless people and the hungry people at the soup kitchens and city services. Do I have any extravagances? Compared to some. Compare me to Elon Musk or Donald Trump and I got nothing. It's all debate, it's all relative. I read somewhere once, or heard somewhere that in Israel, if you got 4,000 shekel, that's the poverty line. If you're over 4,000 shekel, you're no longer super poor. You need dental work. Good luck. But supposedly most people are on a Kubat Khalib. Some sort of healthcare dental plan. They don't trust me to do that. They know I'm going to buy watches, clothing, Legos. God forbid that Israel has a Lego museum. So families have what to do other than the zoo and the aquarium and visiting all these sites. Oh, that's one yogurt down. Here for the second yogurt and another bagel. This was just peach. There's a garbage bag in the garbage, so I guess I'll just take this with me. Toss it later. I don't know why I got 3 bagels. Just in case, just in case 2 isn't enough. Or he might be trying to reach me on WhatsApp. It's like a meeting with his father to evaluate whether the antidepressants are working. But since I'm recording on the phone with the WhatsApp, I can't really do that. Well, technically I could stop the video and start it again. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'll be back soon. 11:44 or 43 a.m. Peace out for a minute.